Hi, this is Tina Vitas. I'm the Executive Director of the iAcademy School of Continuing Education. And with me today is Hans Ross Chua. He is the President of eLearning Edge. Hi, Hans.
Hello, hi Tina.
Tell us about yourself, Hans.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I used to teach marketing and then I went into technology, initially mobile technology and then eventually online education.
So how did you stumble upon online learning?
Well, I also work at a research center in a university. And one of the areas that most interested us was online education. So we've been dabbling in it for I believe, around 7 years already. So, but in the past 5 years, we've really rolled out a more complete product, and it's actually a program now that's been adopted in the marketing industry. So it's the Certified Digital Marketer program.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, you're one of the pioneers, right, in the Philippines for online learning?
Well, to be honest, e-learning has always been here. Actually, e-learning or online learning is a very it's not a new thing exactly. I mean, distance learning, e-learning has been, I guess, used for the past 20, 30, 40 years. But a lot of, I guess a lot of people see our products because we market them. So I wouldn't say we're pioneers, but we're innovators. So we've done a lot of, I guess, tweaking and changes in how you deliver online.
So I guess you've been out there, you've been more visible to the public. That's probably why you look like you've been you are one of the pioneers.
I think in terms of exposure, we've been able to partner with a lot more organizations. So locally, the programs of the International Institute of Digital Marketing are also recognized by almost all the major marketing associations, like the Philippine Association of National Advertisers,
PANA,
IMAP, the Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines, 4As. These are the top agencies in the country. That's the association for the top agencies in the country. We are also partnered with MSAP, the Media Specialist Association of the Philippines.
So that's with the International Institute of Digital Marketing.
Yes.
How about the CDM, which is the Certified Digital Marketer? Can you tell us more about that?
Okay. So the Certified Digital Marketer program is just one of the programs of the IIDM, the International Institute of Digital Marketing. That's our flagship program. So our partners for IIDM and the CDM program are mostly common. They're the ones that I mentioned earlier. But
Yes.
with the IIDM, we bring in a lot of international organizations also. So we work with Ogilvy, we work with McCann's MRM, their digital unit, and also other international organizations. So we work with these organizations where we bring global cases and then localize them when we teach in the Philippines.
For the most part now, your audience is still mostly Filipino.
Right now, yes, a lot of them are people in the Philippines,
Yes.
but little by little, like in one of our mobile programs, mobile marketing programs that we just ran around 3 months ago, there were people from almost, I believe, 9 different countries.
Wow.
So it's changing.
Online is borderless, so it's not surprising you would get people from outside the Philippines. You don't need a passport to take a course or a visa.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So it's so we have like it's borderless. You're right. We have people from, in our last program, we had people from the UK, from the US, from I believe from Hong Kong, from Singapore, from China. So we've had more uptake not only in the country but also globally.
I'll ask you a macro question. What do you think the relationship between online education and the traditional modes of higher education is?
Yeah, I guess you can say that at their core,
Yes.
it's the same methodology. You always start with good instructional design. So if you're not clear about what your learning objectives are, what the scope is of a particular module, let's say you're teaching social media marketing
Yes.
or search engine marketing, whether it's traditional or online, it always starts with a very good instructional design. So that's where we all start. So it's not like we're doing something we're doing something that's not tried and tested. We're still basing things on very good instructional design.
So there's far greater similarity to it than
Yes,
people
and
would think.
well,
The
actually,
basics, actually.
actually, the way I look at it is that online learning, when you apply instructional design to online learning, it's basically extending the capabilities of traditional. So now, like you said, learning becomes borderless. So why not have a teacher who's based in Silicon Valley teach Pinoys, people in the Philippines? So
And vice versa.
and
Have
vice
Filipinos
versa.
teach
Exactly.
international
Yes, and
students.
we've had Filipinos teachers teach our students who are based in other countries. So it is two-way.
That's very good to hear. But you think that Filipinos are ready for a growing phenomenon of online learning? I'm comparing it only to the United States, which you have Coursera, you have what else? You have Khan Academy, you have all these online providers that people are flocking to. Do you think we have the same readiness? Is it happening now?
Well, people, I think here the what we have to focus on is actually awareness.
Okay.
That online learning is actually fun.
Yes.
It's not that hard, and it actually makes learning more borderless and global. So now you're interacting not only with people in a classroom, but people in other countries. So I think it's more of that because even with today's technologies, if I use I don't need the high bandwidth to actually have a conversation with the teacher who's halfway around the world. So it's not, to me, it's not really an issue of infrastructure. So it's the technology's here. It's more of letting people know that they can learn more by going online and learning online.
Because I think for me, the beauty really of online learning is it gives people who otherwise would not have access to this knowledge, they're given access. But this is my take on the Philippines. I think in certain parts of the country, people do have computers, they have laptops, they have mobile, but their internet is quite slow or non-existent. So I think that's what we have to improve on in order to include more people in the
Yes,
conversation.
I think that's right. I mean, there are still some areas that are not as I guess well connected as the I guess Metro Manila area or the major metros. So there are some areas that are not fully covered. Although if you look at it, a lot of people who are not yet using online learning can actually benefit from it, and they aren't using it still. So to me, it's I think infrastructure may be a hindrance to some, but I
Yes.
think the vast majority of those who are ready to go online have to just learn that hey, there's this thing, technologies that allows things to be equalized between those that are in a developing country
Yes.
and those in more advanced countries. So I think it's online learning can be the something that can equalize things.
And this is also starting to be delivered through a mobile device, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Is that
so
already starting here?
we've had students, even teachers who teach the class, they're on the go, they just connect using their iPad and lecture from there. So we've had, it creates a lot of freedom, not only for the students who can actually just log into their Android phone or iPhone, iOS and listen in to an ongoing session. It also frees up teachers.
Yes.
So we've had teachers who couldn't just go to like their office and
Yes.
broadcast from there. They actually were in a car, or sometimes they were in a coffee shop and then they just use their mobile device.
Takes mobile to an entirely new definition. Teaching on the go.
Yes, teaching on the go. Although we don't recommend that
I love
because
Don't
the connection
don't
might
teach
be
while driving. It might be dangerous
Yes, I
to the
think
other
I know,
cars
I
on the
think-
road.
we give that guideline to our teachers.
But honestly, do you think online learning is as effective as face-to-face?
Okay, so there will be some. If you look at it, online learning basically opens up more opportunities, in my opinion,
Yes.
compared to face to face. Now there are, of course, some challenges. When you're in a face to face session, you actually sometimes have an easier time networking,
Yes.
relating to people. You can see, a person's body language better.
Yes.
than when
Easier
you're
to read.
online.
Yeah.
But when you're online, there's the possibilities are limitless. We've seen courses that have reached hundreds of students, and and these courses don't just not like in a face-to-face session and in 8 hours. I mean, our online courses can go over a month,
Yes.
and people digest the lessons and they share with each other using online tools. There are social aspects to online learning.
Yes. That's all.
So at the end of that online course, people actually are able to practice. Whereas in a time-bound scenario or a physical,
It ends there.
yes, it
When you
ends
go
there.
home.
Yeah, when you go home,
Yes.
that's it. So there actually I can make the argument that in a face-to-face session compared to and so in a face-to-face session that's 8 hours,
Yes.
time-bound in a physical location. I can make the argument that compared to a 1 month long online program, there's less interaction.
And also, I think because Filipinos are generally shy and they're less aggressive than
Yeah,
foreign
well-
counterparts.
Well, that's a good point because some people are more vocal
Yeah.
when they're online and they're not in front of a person. So
Exactly.
we've seen that in some classes that some people actually speak up more
Yes.
when it's an online course.
Absolutely. So that's one of the advantages. And also, I think the other advantage is, again, the travel time. You cut the travel time.
Yes.
Like I was told that I needed to do my PhD, and one of the candidates was in terms of the schools to go to was Ateneo Loyola, but one of our colleagues said it will take you about 3 hours to get there, 3 hours to get home, and you're gonna
I don't
sit in
think
class for 3 hours. That's like when can you work, right? So he said maybe the PhD should be taken online,
Okay.
right?
Well, I know some people. One of our subject matter experts, Donald Lim, who's now the
Yes,
Chief Innovation
the
Officer.
digital marketing guy.
Yes, he's now the the Chief Digital Officer of ABS CBN. Who took his PhD online from I think a university in the US. So it's actually normal, I guess, for some countries to have PhD graduates take it online.
It is the way to go, especially with traffic. How do you envision e-learning to develop over the next few years, particularly in the Philippines?
Well, it should be like in other countries. It should be more, I guess, integrated already with learning. You shouldn't even
Be a question.
think of there shouldn't even be a question of
Should we? Shouldn't we?
yeah, there shouldn't even be a question whether you should combine e-learning with traditional learning,
Yes.
because the I think the same way we teach digital marketing, you shouldn't be thinking of, hey, marketing, and here's something separate, digital marketing. Hey, you know, digital marketing is basically marketing.
Yes.
It's part of what you do as a marketer. So, as a teacher, if you're teaching and you're not leveraging on online tools, I think it might be a disservice to your students, because you're not allowing them to interact more with each other. You're not allowing them to learn from people globally. So like in our program, we have people who are not based in the Philippines. In our last mobile marketing course, we had 15 lecturers,
Right.
and I think only one or two of them were based in the Philippines. So a teacher who doesn't leverage on that kind of knowledge available online is, I mean, maybe shortchanging their students.
And you have to admit, talent is worldwide. It's not just found in one
Yes,
country.
yes.
So if you limit, for example, your knowledge base just in the Philippines, you miss out on the
Yes,
rest
the
of
learning.
world. And vice versa. But
Correct.
the other countries also have a lot to learn from us.
Yes.
It's not one way.
And I mean, if you look at how innovation happens, it's connecting different ideas
Yes.
together. From now, you're connecting ideas from different regions, so the innovation should be higher.
So tell us about the instructors who teach in your program.
Well, we have a pretty good roster. So we have, for example, in our mobile class, we have Rohit Dadwal, who is actually the Asia and Pacific head for the Mobile Marketing Association.
Okay.
He teaches out of Singapore, so he gave a lecture in our recently concluded mobile marketing class. We also have entrepreneurs, like local entrepreneurs, like Fred Levy, who's the founder of Cash Pinoy.
Okay.
So he's French, but he's based here, and he's an entrepreneur, true blue entrepreneur, and he knows the ins and outs of e-commerce, setting up a company and growing it and scaling it. So he teaches in our e-commerce class.
Okay.
And we also have locally, we also have Jamie Castles, who recently joined our analytics program. He actually does a lot of analytics for the top websites in the country.
Okay.
So you're talking about Zalora. I know he also works with some of the big websites in the country. So I'm not sure if I can disclose, but
Yes.
so he's seen, how these websites work, and he's actually contributed to their success.
So for people who are afraid of the word analytics, it's just basically, in a layman's language, it's just those are the data that experts crunch to figure out if their strategies are working in real life, right?
Yes.
In a nutshell.
Yes.
If
So
we
I
have to simplify it.
guess, I guess from a business
Yeah.
perspective, analytics shows you if you made a return on your money that you invested in marketing or digital marketing. So analytics allows you to shows you, I guess, where the money is.
So on that note, what are the different programs that you offer online for digital marketing?
Okay, so we have, for those that are interested in more like the shorter programs,
Yes.
we have your 2 to 3 month program. So we have so the nice thing about our program is we approach digital marketing training in terms of training people for careers. So not just a particular technical skill, but how do you actually grow in a particular profession in digital.
I think this is what also, and let me interject now. I
Yes.
think this is what's missing nowadays in some course curriculums for universities and colleges, because people come out of school and they are not prepared for the jobs. that they're going to take. So
Um,
I think it's important to match what you're learning and then what am I going to do after.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because I think and also the schools are trying to address it
Yes,
because
of course they are.
they want more industry and academe collaboration so that when the students graduate they actually
Yes.
have what the industry needs. So and that's something that we focus on. So with the International Institute of Digital Marketing, we have practitioners teaching. Um, we make it so easy for them to teach because we make it we allow them to teach at home from home or in a coffee shop so it's online so that's one advantage also that of being online you get to get people who are busy entrepreneurs who are busy to teach so so that's one way we ensure that people who take our programs
Know where they're going
know
after.
know what the industry
Yes.
wants and actually when they graduate they can apply things quickly so the four so going back to your question the four
First one.
programs we have four specialist programs
Okay.
before I talk about our bigger program so the four is one is the so based on career path so there are four career paths that we are focusing on right now for digital although there are others
Yes.
the four major ones is for digital media planning. So
Okay.
these are the guys that plan media placement for online properties and do targeted ads across different publisher sites for companies like brands. So these are I guess the counterparts of your traditional media buyers who
Yes.
place ads across TV, radio, and print. So digital media planners place ads across publisher sites. So they track how your ads are doing over at Yahoo, Google, Facebook, all the local publishers, ABS, CBN, GMA, TV5. So Inquirer.net, Philippine Star. So all these online properties, it's a lot. They're like, my God, so many online properties. How do you know which one is relevant to your market?
Yes.
How do you know um, if the ads that you have on a particular publisher site is working? So how do you track everything? So I know some people that run a few hundred ads a day, and they're tracking it. So that's the beauty of digital media, and you need a digital media planner.
Yes.
So that's one. The other specialist track we have is for social media marketing, which is the most popular track that we have. But it's become more technical now. So we prepared them to marry both business strategy with social media channels and tools, and also apply communication science. So how do you have the proper um, content plan and targeting specific markets and how do you have the right voice when you actually compose your content how do you have that voice represent what your brand should be and then how do you now apply it across different content um, so marrying strategy communication science with the more technical side of what are the different apps for Twitter, for Facebook? How do you apply a framework for online community management? So all of these things are applied in social media. So in the social media marketing specialist track. So it's actually more since a lot of people are doing it. So a lot of the body of knowledge under that has actually been advanced.
So
So
this is actually what one should take if they wanted to become a social media officer.
yes, a social media like your friend. I think you mentioned.
Yes.
So now the third track would be digital marketing analytics
Yes.
specialists. So these are the guys that the CEOs love because they show them where the money is.
Yes.
So if let's say you're running an e-commerce site, an analytics person would be able to help you track where you're not only based on where your traffic is coming from, who is actually buying. But on your website, is your landing page optimized for somebody that visits it?
If I had to guess, just because I don't really shop that much online, just a little bit. If I had to guess, Amazon.com is an amazing digital analytics team.
I'm
right?
sure,
Okay.
yes. And actually, one of our teachers in the program is Ray Alimuro, who used to work for Amazon. So
So you look at that site, it's like, wow.
yeah, it's huge.
They know what I ate
It's-
for
it's-
breakfast. It's so funny, people are always like on the net. I think they don't realize, and I had this conversation with our friend from freelancer.com, Joji Azurin. Like every site you go to, every time you click, somebody's profiling you. Right? Somebody is studying your behavior,
Yeah.
right? They know your likes, they know your dislikes, they know what you buy, what you eat, where you eat. Amazing.
Some people. One thing that people have, been using more and more of is retargeting. So, so if you see an ad, and then let's say you click on a banner ad, and then you end up going to, let's say, a site that sells shoes. There's what you call a cookie that is sort
Not
of
the one you eat.
not the one you eat. It's a cookie.
Yes.
There's like a cookie that's
Yes.
placed in your
Yes.
browser,
Yes.
so they remember you wherever you go on the web. So now
They kind of follow you,
they
right?
kind
It's
of
a
follow
marker.
you. Yeah, so it's like a marker. So now that they know who you are, sometimes when you visit other sites, their ads follow you.
To be more conscious about this.
But that studies show that when you retarget people who were initially interested in your product,
They get turned off.
no, actually, it's there's a higher conversion because you're selling to someone that is
Already interesting.
already.
You don't really have to convince them.
Yeah,
much.
so
They
if
like
you-
they like shoes.
So I'm sure you've
Yeah.
seen some
Yeah.
ads where you clicked on an ad, you went to their site, and then now you're wondering how come I see the same ads over and over now when I visit other websites, because they now are kind of tracking you, or they know
Yes.
if based on the cookie that you've actually visited their site. So now they're able to send you ads that target.
So moral of the story: be careful what ads or what websites you visit. No, but anyway, so the fourth one after the digital marketing analytics.
The fourth one is the e-business specialist.
Okay.
So these are the guys that set up online storefronts, and also marry it with the science or or with customer relationship management strategies. So it's not enough that you have an e-commerce site.
Yes.
That's just maybe 1/10 of the battle. A lot of the battle lies in acquisition of customers. So from doing your media, pay-per-click campaigns all the way to getting them to your site, converting them. But how do you actually retain them over time so that they buy more stuff from you over their lifetime? So what is, I guess in CRM terms, what is the lifetime value of a customer to you? So so the same way, I guess, SM looks at customers where they want you to come back over and over
Yes.
and buy stuff from them.
Loyalty.
The same, yes.
How do you bring
So
loyalty?
this is what we teach in the e-business track. It's setting up everything you need for your online store, all the way to making sure it's a sustainable business using customer.
So you're
relationship.
basically converting what would be in the physical world online.
Yes.
Right? If something in the physical world already exists, and obviously you want to grow your reach, if you want to take that online, you're converting the physical aspects.
Yes, actually, there are two types of companies that join our e-business specialist program. Some of them are pre-existing retailers
Yes.
that want to expand online. So they have advantages. They have physical locations that have inventory. They have drop-off points. They can use online to actually expand without having to set up more stores.
Yes.
There are also those that already are just purely online retailers. So they don't have any physical storefront, but I know a lot of people in fashion retail
Yes.
who just sell online. So no storefront, they just market their products online.
Because nobody will charge you 1,500 per square meter if your store is online.
Yes.
That is one of the advantages. That people just have to know about you, right? So you have a
Yes.
steady base of clients and growing. Okay, so you walked us through the programs that you offer and the kind of jobs that the graduates of these programs might have afterwards.
Yes.
What can they expect during the program? How easy is it to take a class? I'm guessing if you're semi-computer literate, it should not be that difficult to take an online class, right?
We want to. We keep on upgrading our
Okay.
learning management system. That's what you log into when
Yes.
you join a course.
And I'm guessing it's user friendly.
Yes. So we always keep on enhancing it, and I think in the past few months just upgraded to some of the parts of our learning management system. So the goal is to make it as intuitive as possible. So we don't want you to think what how we don't want you to think too much when you're taking our course. So to think too much of how to make it work.
Yes, because you realize that most of the people that are going to take this course probably have never taken an online course before.
Yes, and we've had actually a lot of the people that took our program initially were not familiar with
Yes.
what online learning is.
Yes.
So we've had people from 19-year-old college students who just are about to graduate to people in their 50s, vice presidents of big companies, taking some of our programs and courses. So it's a new field.
Very exciting. Okay, what does it mean for somebody? This is a certification program, right? What does it mean for somebody to be certified?
Okay, so the advantage of a certification program over, let's say, a degree program
Yes.
or a diploma or a master's degree is a certification program is a guarantee by the industry that you have certain skill sets.
Okay.
And a certification program requires that you update your skills
Okay.
every year.
Okay.
And the industry monitors that. So the Certified Digital Marketer program is one such program. So we had a choice before whether we would follow other methodologies, but we decided that the certification is the
Better
way to go because it's more it's future proofing in a way. The brand and the certification that people earn. So in a way, we're making sure that once you graduate, you still have to polish your skills because, especially in digital, the learning never stops. So
It's lifelong learning.
it's
Online.
lifelong learning. Actually, in the program, when you graduate, you still get access,
Yes.
and you actually get a chance to mentor people who are coming in. So by becoming a mentor, you actually sharpen your skills more.
Because particularly, in the areas of learning that you're offering right now in digital marketing, things are very dynamic. They're still changing.
Yes.
So it's
So it keeps on changing. So that's one reason why we chose a certification program where you constantly upgrade your skills even after you graduate.
and it's internationally recognized, right? That's
Yes.
the beauty.
Yes. So
of it.
we have over 10 organizations that recognize the program
That's like a
other
seal of
countries.
approval.
Yes. So the certification is something that is appropriate for a fast changing industry like digital. So when you see a person with a CDM title, that's like a guarantee that hey, I've gone through the program. I've paid my dues, but hey,
It has
I haven't
stopped
I
here.
haven't stopped.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped.
I'm still updating myself every
Yes.
month.
That's the good news and the bad news. Has your experience with e-learning in the last 5-7 years that you've been you've been immersed in this area changed your views on education?
Yes, very much. For one, it's I mean, like you said earlier, there are no borders now. And actually, I really find it very fulfilling because we also do have undergraduate programs, and I really feel, I guess, blessed to be in this field because when you start to see faculty who have been teaching, let's say, in a school in, let's say, outside of the Metro Manila area,
Yes.
who now have access to top-notch entrepreneurs, not only in Metro Manila but outside of the country, and then they tell you how much it has changed how they are teaching their students.
Yes.
To me, I mean that's one reason why I went, or our organization has gone into e-learning, because we like changing things.
Yes.
So when you see now the big change between what the teacher knew um, months before our program, and then when we start training them to be able to teach digital marketing in the graduate level, you could see that suddenly their eyes are open to all the limitless possibilities. They're more excited to let their students use more of social media online. I've seen some schools who now are changing their policies. They used to block social media, but sometimes when after they see our program and we start teaching, and the teachers now realize, oh my God, we're putting walls by not allowing them to go on social media. So we've seen some schools that have changed their policies because of how we deliver our courses. So it's very fulfilling.
I guess in anything, if the idea is fairly new and fairly foreign to people who have never used it before, it takes a while for them to adapt.
Yes.
I guess it's
Yeah, we've had some people who are of an older generation, and initially there was
when you say older, you mean about 40.
about 50. About 50.
40 is not old.
That who initially were not so familiar with even email.
Yes.
And they would be not so, they wouldn't be that comfortable using
Yes.
laptops, but now they're using webinars all the time. They're listening to all other speakers. They're submitting their assignments online, and they're avoiding traffic.
Yes.
And they're collaborating with students who are in different countries. So, in a way, I look at it as it's really mind expanding, even for people who are as experienced as 50-plus-year-old executives.
But when you actually think about it, if you really have to simplify it, the content doesn't change, the knowledge doesn't change. It's just like before. How did we communicate before? We sent letters on a
Yes.
ship, right? That took perhaps 3 months from the United States to get here,
Yes.
right? Because it went on a ship.
Yes.
Now it's like instantaneous. You send a text message to somebody in New York, and they get it that second.
Yes.
So nothing is. It's just the medium that changed, and I think
Yes.
people are just a little bit wary nowadays because technology is changing so fast. I think that's more of the issue.
Yeah.
Whereas before, people had time to before we moved on to the next, people had a long time to get used to the telegram, to the telefax, right? But now it's just it's wild how quickly things can change. Right? So
Yes. I mean, how quickly things spread. No? Oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. But generally speaking, it's just the medium is just changing.
Yes, the medium's changing, and I think it's imperative that people embrace technology, especially when teaching, because it just opens up so many opportunities for you to learn.
The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages.
Yes.
In terms of efficiency, in terms of scope, right?
Yes.
In terms of ease.
Yes. So as long as you have good program design
Yes.
and instructional design,
Yes.
that's where you're really able to leverage technology and traditional learning. You can combine.
Yes, because if your content is not up to par, then it doesn't matter in what medium it's delivered in.
Yes.
It's still not good.
Yes.
And the people that take that class, whether it's face to face or online, are still not gonna come out, right?
Yes.
More knowledgeable and more skilled than prior to entering that
Yes.
class. So at the end of the day, definitely that's the basis, that's the foundation for everything.
Yes, correct.
Anyway, I enjoyed speaking to you today.
Well, I enjoyed
and
it.
We have to
too.
tell them, right, that we have our social media marketing specialist course in May next year, right? In 2014.
Yes, in 2014, but I think it's starting a little bit earlier. I think in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Already, okay.
Okay.
So please get back to us at our Facebook page, Short Course I Academy, right? That's our Facebook page, and the information regarding our short courses and of course our online courses in digital marketing should be there. Thank you, Hans.
Okay. Thank you, Tina.
Bye.